Hey, what's crackin', fellas? It's your boy Ente, coach of the Syracuse Sylveons, and today I am coming at you with my Draft Classic Week 2 team builder for King B.C. and his BC Bastiodons. Again, this is Draft Classic League content, and if you want to check out that Discord link in the description, that link will be in the description of every one of these videos, and you are welcome to join that, become part of our community, or just keep up to date with everything Draft Classic related. And who knows, maybe you can become a coach and someday you will see one of these videos where I am preparing for your draft. But like I said, this is just going to be a team builder. So I think we're having the match pretty soon, but we haven't had it yet. So if you just want to see the game itself, just click off this video and wait for that upload. But if you do want to hear my thought process and sit through a bit of a lengthy video, then I hope it's helpful, and any feedback would definitely be great. So what you're looking at is just a very simple tool I use to team build, which is why it's called the Simple Team Builder. I know that Krakenation has developed just incredible, truly miraculous Excel documents that help him team build, but this is what works for me. Or it's only been 2 weeks, but this is what works for me, and this is what I'm gonna probably continue using throughout the season. But just to introduce you to what's going on here, I have my draft here and the opponent's draft here. I have a bunch of speed tiers. I have a count of the resistances and the weaknesses of the opponent's draft. And then I also highlight a offensive threat and a defensive threat. And then I have this box. I don't know what I'm going to do with this box yet. I kind of just have this empty space here. Can't think of anything yet, hence the name, but maybe eventually I will come up with something to put into that box. So yeah, just very simple stuff, and let's just get into it. So every time I'm preparing for a draft, the first thing I like to look at is how many resistances they have. So this box here, and we can see that the BC Bastiodons only have 1 ice resist and 1 ghost resist, which is not ideal because my draft is missing, I think, only 2 types, and of course those 2 types are ice and ghost. So I do not have stab ice or stab ghost moves on my draft, which already puts me on the back foot since I can't really take advantage or exploit his weaknesses. This is especially bad because my draft in comparison is very weak to water, especially in the upper tiers, and he's got Manaphy, which is horrifying. And I am actually very scared of a Scarf Manaphy, since that would even outspeed Infernape, which is one of the few things on my draft that outspeeds Manaphy. In fact, it's the only thing except for Mega Sceptile. So I'm pretty scared of Scarfed Manaphy, since nothing really wants to switch into like a Surf or I don't know if it gets Hydro Pump, probably does, but nothing really wants to switch into that repeatedly, so that is scary. Also, he's got this absolutely ridiculous defensive core. I don't know if it's just abusive against my draft or if he's gonna rock this defensive core and just destroy everybody, but like Rhydon is such a problem for my draft. I wanted to bring Sand, but I have since decided that there's no way I can bring Sandstream against this draft. Like Girder, Mach Punch Girder pretty much one-shots Tyranitar no matter what. And then Rhydon is so hard to break through, especially from support from something like a Skarmory. Like Excadrill needs to set up so many Swords Dances, because Excadrill unfortunately doesn't get Smackdown, which would be great obviously, but does not learn that move, so that is not great. Rhydon can switch into Tyranitar all day and threaten him out with a one-hit KO Earthquake. And again, I don't have great things to switch into Rhydon. So yeah, he's also got crazy offensive pressure with Kieran Black. Raikou, as you can see here, is faster than my 2 main threats or 2 main offensive threats of Infernape and Mew, which is especially bad since 1, they don't resist Electric Stab, and 2, Raikou gets coverage moves to hit both of them. I think he gets both Scald and Shadow Ball, which is all bad. And yeah, this is going to be an absolutely brutal matchup. I'm almost positive that this is just going to be horrifying because I have like nothing to switch into his offensive threats, and he has things to switch into mine. And yeah, I'm scared. That's basically what I'm getting at. The only other thing I'll point out is that he does have a bit of an interesting speed gap. If we highlight what is it, like this section here. Only one of these Pokemon are on his draft, and it's Skarmory, which is not necessarily a Pokemon known for being speedy. I will concede that he ran Weak Armor Skarmory last week, and actually it served him pretty well. So Skarmory can be speedy and can be offensive, but generally speaking, you probably can't count Skarmory as a offensive speed thing. So yeah, all of these Pokemon are mine. So between base 45 and base 95, he only has Skarmory. So it's definitely an interesting speed gap that I can hopefully exploit, because yeah, it's like 50 points where he's got essentially nothing except for a defensive Pokemon. So definitely an interesting hole there in terms of his overall speed stat coverage. But yes, I'll just touch on what I'm expecting to see from him, and then we'll jump over to the team I ended up making. So, like I said, I am 100% expecting to see Manaphy and Rhydon, because, well, the first one brutalizes a lot of my team, and the second one not only brutalizes a lot of my team, but also switches into a lot of my team, and is very hard to take out. I think he's almost certainly going to bring both Girder and Skarmory, just again because the defensive synergy is so good and it's so hard for me to break through this trio of Skarmory, Rhydon, and Girder. There is no doubt in my mind that he's bringing these three. If he ends up not bringing these three, I'll be truly amazed. I feel like he's probably bringing Kyurem just because it's another Pokemon that's hard to switch into, just generally speaking. I don't think, like, Kyurem Black is an absolute monster, and not much wants to switch into it, so that is definitely a very easy option for him to take as well. And then his sixth, I'm not positive. I am kind of scared of Spiritomb, which we'll talk about in a second. But Raikou is a very easy take for him just because, again, it's faster than most of my draft and gets coverage moves to hit them super effectively. He could go Beedrill, since I don't have a great answer to that either. It's just so strong and hits so hard and gets momentum and all that. But yeah, I'm not positive what his sixth is going to be, but I am 100%, well, not 100%, but I'm like 98% sure that he's bringing these five, which is pretty much probably all he needs. He could bring these five and not bring a sixth, and that would honestly be good enough. Like, that's all he needs. But yes, let's just jump on over to Showdown, and I will talk about my team really quick. So I'm bringing a mixed Infernape with rocks and a pivoting move. With a black belt to hopefully disguise my item. I think maybe I can mind games him a little bit if he doesn't see my item and make him think I'm Choice Scarfed, which could threaten out something like Mega Beedrill if he brings it, because Scarf Infernape would outspeed Mega Beedrill. I don't really feel like I need a coverage move. Close Combat does a number to most of his draft. With Black Belt, it should be a 2-hit KO, even on Manaphy, unless it has defense investment. Obviously, it hits Rhydon super effectively. I have Overheat for Skarmory. Kyurem Black gets hit super effectively, Snorlax, all that. So I don't really feel like I need coverage moves, which is why I'm running Stealth Rock and U-Turn. Overheat is just a way for me to hit, like, it's just a powerful hit and doesn't lower my attack, which is what I'm using for close combat. So this combination should work pretty well, hopefully. Next up, I have, I gotta laugh because I don't think this is gonna work, but I like the idea of Hone Claws and Focus Blast, since I'm going to be boosting my accuracy. I think +1 accuracy, Focus Blast has what is it, like 93% accuracy, something in the low 90s, which is a lot better than 70, so I'll take it. But I'm running Hone Claws, Focus Blast. Focus Blast is just for Skarmory, but without it, I can't really hit it. Like, Thunder Punch does not deal enough damage to a defensive Skarmory, unfortunately. Even if I was Swords Dance, he can still probably live that and then kill me with Brave Bird. So I gotta try to run Focus Blast and connect. So I'm running Hone Claws, Focus Blast, and then just Dual Stab. These stats are pretty weird. I am just running max speed, which is unusual and not something I usually do in draft play and for when I'm team building for in a draft league. But if he wants to bring Mega Beedrill and he like concedes the speed tie, I want to make sure that I'm outspeeding, because I can one-shot him with Dragon Claw because Beedrill is very frail, and that would be huge for me if he chooses to just run Adamant Beedrill or whatever. So I am just running max speed for that reason. And then these EVs should let me two-shot defensive Skarmory with Focus Blast, and then the rest are just in attack. I have Nunu, the Electros. These EVs are whack. I'm struggling to remember. I made this team a little while ago, or at least I made these EVs a little while ago, so I'm not positive, but I think I'm just speed creeping a little bit with the speed stat here to get the edge over stuff like maybe Skarmory or what are his other things? Oh, Rhydon, Girder, Spiritomb, Executor Alola. So just running a little bit of speed to maybe outspeed those things. And then I think this EV investment is supposed to let me take 2 hits from either Rhydon or Manaphy and be able to 2-hit KO them in return. Or, I mean, I'll probably OHKO Rhydon with Giga Drain, but I believe Thunderbolt should 2-hit KO most forms of Manaphy with this much special attack. I think it's just my switch in. Like it can be a switch in one time basically with these EVs, but it can be a switch into I think pretty much everything. So it's just the one-time switch in. Also, I'm running U-turn instead of Volt Switch because he's got Volt Absorb Raikou, and I don't. If I run Volt Switch, Raikou just switches in and doesn't care about any of these moves, really. So that is obviously not good. I'm also running, again, another max speed Pokemon, which, like I just said, is unusual, but with my Choice Scarf, I'll hit 360, and you can see here that absolutely max speed Raikou hits 361. So if he's running anything less than max speed Raikou, I should outspeed, or at least speed tie, if for some reason he's running 1 point less than 360. Like, 360 should be a really weird speed stat for him to hit, and I don't think it's going to be one that he is expecting. So for that reason, motorcycle. For that reason, I'm thinking that Choice Scarf Beware has the potential to put in a whole lot of work. And I'm running Shadow Claw in case he brings Spiritomb, because I still want to be able to hit that thing. But if Skarmory goes down, then he doesn't have a great switch into normal type moves and in conjunction with fighting type moves, again, except for Spiritomb. So yeah, and then Fluffy should help me take a hit from Girder, hopefully. I guess we'll see. And then I am running Dragon Dance Gyarados. Again, once again, running pretty much max speed, but this is actually calculated because now at +1, I should be able to outspeed Jolly Beedrill, I think. Beedrill hits 427, and then, yeah, Scarf Gyarados. I'll essentially be Scarfed because I'll be +1 speed. Scarfed Gyarados hits 430, so this speed stat will let me outspeed Jolly Beedrill, which could be very important. I'm running Waterfall, Iron Head to hit the Kyurem, and Crunch to hit the Reuniclus, or I guess the Spiritomb, but I would just be clicking Waterfall against Spiritomb because that thing is only weak to Fairy. So not great moves. If I got Thunder Fang, that'd be great, but sadly I do not. I could run Stone Edge, I guess, or Power Whip, because Manaphy sort of walls this set, but maybe I'll change something. I'm not really sure. I am going to need Moxie to keep increasing my attack stat, I think. Like, once I'm +1 speed, I should be fast enough, but I'm going to need my attack stat to be going up if I want to actually sweep this team, so I feel like I am forced to bring Moxie. And then Wakanberry, I guess if I'm full life, I think like maybe I can live something from Raikou, but Wakanberry is mostly for random electric coverage moves that he might have. So Yes, and then finally, again, another weird set. I got a lot of weird sets this week. I'm not super sure if they're going to work out, but running weakness policy Mew, basically defensive Mew, but with enough speed to get the edge over what? 304? What am I trying to outspeed here? Oh, I guess a non-speed boosting Manaphy. I think it also outspeeds Kyurem. Just a little bit of speed creeping on Kyurem. So I'm running 2 boosting moves and then stored power and Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is for Manaphy and also for Skarmory, since Skarmory resists stored power. But basically, if I see Beedrill, then I need to be faster than Beedrill and I need to go for agility. But if I don't see Beedrill, then I can try to Nasty Plot, because I'm going to need the damage to break through certain members of this draft. And then Nasty Plot in conjunction with the weakness policy boosts should make stored power pretty strong and potentially allow me to just get a cheeky little sweep off if he's not expecting it, since I think Mew should be able to come into Girder. And I mean, knockoff is going to hurt, but he can't keep clicking it because it's going to deal less damage. And then, yeah, because Girder is an issue, but if I can try to exploit Girder, then that's great for me. So, yes. Anyways, that is the team. That is all I'm going to say about that. I think I talked for too long, but if you made it through the video, I really appreciate you. And I appreciate everything you do for the channel and sticking with me and dealing with my commentary. So let me know your thoughts on this video, whether or not you want to keep seeing team builders. And yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. As always, I hope you're having an excellent day and that you are staying safe and healthy during quarantine. But this has been Entei and Krakenation out.